Hello everyone, we're going to be with you in just a moment getting some things set up here remotely, hoping that this will work for all of us. And I am going to be live here on Instagram, very excited to be here with you guys today, and I wanted to kind of run through a couple different things as we get going here. If you can see me and hear me, which hopefully you can, I will be able to see and hear you as well in just a moment. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I am talking today about money. And for some of you guys that know me pretty well, know that that is something that is, so I have had some challenges with over the years. Made a lot of money in real estate. It's a wonderful industry to be in, but it also can be an industry where it's feast or famine. And so I made some decisions in my real estate career that negatively affected me. I think some of you guys saw CNBC's The Deed last week with me on it, focus of an hour that was kind of interesting. So the bottom line is what I want to tell you is that I have been in the trenches with you as real estate agents, as clients, made and lost a lot of money in real estate, and just in general, I've made some really poor decisions in some tough financial times, and I've learned from those decisions. So what I want you to get out of our time together today is some of the lessons I've learned from the past and some things that have worked for me in tough times. And to just give you a background, I started my real estate career in 1998 in college, put myself through college doing it. And in 1999, there was the tech bust. So that was the first time I experienced a market downturn. Second time that I got a little ahead of myself, I started my own real estate brokerage, September 4th of 2001, so a week before 9/11. And then the third big bold move I did was that I started EXIT Strategy Realty on October 29th of 2009, right as the real estate and economic world was kind of crashing around. So I have seen a lot, and I would love to share with you some things that in this tough financial time, when I already have friends furloughed or out of work, some of you guys are panicking about your bills, you're asking, should it still be a good time to sell or buy real estate? We talked yesterday on here about real estate, but today I want to talk about money as a whole. And so I have some tips for you. I've been doing a lot of journaling and scribing, some things I haven't had the time to do for a while, or at least didn't make the time to do. Well, we all have a lot of time right now. So if you have questions, it looks like I'm not really able to see the live questions on the screen. So go ahead and text them to me again. I think that's the way we're going to have to do this at my home studio here. We won't burn the house down. We got the fireplace figured out, but we don't have questions figured out. So text me your questions and go ahead and let me know if you can hear and see me okay. 312-493-0920. Again, that's 312-493-0920. And I will look at my watch here every so often and make sure that hopefully we can see and talk a little bit more live Q&A. But I've got some notes for you first. So overall in this money crisis, in this money crunch that we're going to be experiencing, and we know it's going to get worse before it gets better. The stock market had a little bit of a rebound earlier today. It's going to go up and down for months, and we know that. And we also know that some people, even if you're not going to directly feel the pinch, this may be the time, speaking of time, to go ahead and get smarter with your money. Because even if you're making good money, there were times that I wish I'd saved money smarter and done better things with my money so that when there were lean times that I could survive, and that when there were good times I could have had more money to do some major opportunities, do some really fun things, and also some really smart things for my future. So please learn from my mistakes. The first thing, there's 4 total things, and this will not be forever that we'll have to be together today, I promise. But the first thing is cut your expenses now. In this financial crunch, in this overall question mark of how long is this health crisis going to go on, how long is this going to affect us with our ability to work, you've got to realize that cutting your expenses has to be number one. You need to do it now. A lot of times when I would see things coming for myself, I would say, well, I'll get to that later, or oh, it can't be that bad, or I'm sure it's going to get better. Well, you know, even if it did at some point, I could have saved myself a lot of pain by cutting expenses quickly. So do a personal budget. We put on our office crisis website, that's exitstrategymovesyou.com, exitstrategymovesyou.com. We put a personal budget spreadsheet on there that you can download and edit for yourself. I just did one again for myself, and I gotta tell you guys, there was some stuff that I'm spending money on that I'm not using. Cut unnecessary expenses now. Do that personal budget. Anything non-essential, this is the time to cut it. if you're going to do something as far as your interest rates, look at the interest rates on your credit card, on your student loans, on your car note. This is a time to refinance. Now, obviously, we've seen the interest rates go up and down the last couple days, but on a good day, the last few days, they've been near record lows. Get things refinanced so you lower that monthly payment. It does reset your amortization tables, which means that basically you're paying more interest upfront than principal. The older your loan gets or the closer to maturity it gets, you actually pay more towards the principal and you're paying more down on the note. However, right now the big goal is to get that monthly nut shrunk. So get that monthly payment down, get those refinancings of those high interest rate debt done. Ask for any refunds due. If you've got an airline refund, if you need to return something to a store that's open or can be returned online, do it now. Get that cash back in the bank. It's not doing anything for you. If you've got credit card points that you were saving up for that great trip, well, that trip might not happen for a while. Pay down your balance with that, or make your monthly minimum with that and use that monthly minimum amount. So we're going to talk a little bit more about credit cards again in a bit, but cut your expenses, your monthly expenses. You've got to do that, and you've got to do that using a personal budget. I do see already that I think one of you has messaged me. Let me make sure that you can hear and see me. So just go ahead and text me, 312-493-0920. Second thing, keep credit flowing. Keep credit flowing. One of the mistakes that I made the last time that I did some stuff that got me into trouble and the market was changing, I didn't keep credit open. So one thing you need to do, if you've got credit card applications, and this is advice I'd normally not give you. This is advice I'd normally not give you. If you have credit cards, invitations that are open or that's sitting around, go ahead and open one or two as an emergency. If you really are in dire straits or you feel like you could be soon or your job is in peril or it could be, go ahead and open a credit card. Doesn't mean spend all the money on it, but go and open a credit card for emergency expenses. If you need to, you can put groceries on it. There were points that I really wish I had done that when things were really in a crisis mode. So there's two cards that I've seen lately, a lot of invitations from Credit One and Capital One. They seem to be pretty easy to get if you don't have the best credit out there. Keep those open for emergency needs. If you're in a cash crunch, don't pay down your credit cards right now. Again, this is advice I'd never give you otherwise, but don't pay down your credit cards right now. Pay the minimum on it and save that cash. This is a time to save cash. Have some cash in reserves to be able to go and pay your bills if something happens, if you feel like you're going to lose a bonus, if again that job is in question. So don't pay down your credit cards right now if you need the cash. So keep that cash, just pay the minimum if you're in that situation. So that's number two, keep that credit flowing. Number three is revise your revenue, hopefully raise your revenue. Now if you're out of a job right now or you're furloughed, that's probably not possible in your primary role. But let's get creative here for a second. Sort through anything that you are not using right now. This is a great time to be at home, sorting through closets, donating clothes. Amazon's got that great gift box program where they ship it for you to your charity. But there are going to be some things that maybe you can sell. eBay, Nextdoor. Nextdoor is a great thing to put things on the market because it's right down the block from you probably, the buyers. Amazon. Anything you can do to get things out of your house that you're not going to use. If you can't donate them, or if you don't want to donate them and you feel like they're worth something, go ahead and put them up for $10, $100, whatever it is. That old designer bag that you aren't really using anymore, get rid of it now. You're going to need to clean house anyway. Do it in a smart fashion. Get some revenue that way. Any niches you can break into. Some of you guys have some really cool talents. Do some virtual coaching. If you have a car or if you can get around and deliver groceries for people, maybe start a little neighborhood business up for a second. Get something going where you've got additional revenue in your pocket. Any part-time jobs. There was a point in my real estate career where I was not unemployed, but I was very underemployed. And I wish I'd sucked it up and had a little bit less pride and gone out and gotten a part-time job. And there are places hiring now part-time. Aldi, Amazon, Walmart, a lot of the pharmacies, everything around here that you can just do what you need to do to survive. Uber. So there are things right now that if you need extra money, get out there and do that while you're looking for the next job, while you're waiting for that assistance check. Because I got to tell you, based on what I'm seeing on the TV, you can't see what my TV's right over there, not 100% convinced that we're going to all get a check. And a lot of us either won't qualify or when will that check come and will that be enough to do anything with? Okay, or should you just put that in your savings account? So think about that. Raise your revenue any way you can. But The biggest one in my mind is mindset. I'm always a big person into mindset. So number 4, don't bury your head in the sand. This is a classic thing that I did several times. Was I just wanted it to get better, so I was just going to wait it out by sticking my head in the sand. And guess what? It got nothing but worse by sticking my head in the sand. And when I either pulled my head up finally or someone was dragging me up, normally a creditor, guess what? It was worse. So you have to get out there and deal with this stuff. Make the phone calls you need to make. Sit on the phone with your mortgage lender, with your credit card companies. Have those conversations now. If you're in a position now that you're feeling pretty good and maybe you see that this is going to potentially create some opportunity for you, God bless you, that's great. Then this is the time to still save money, cut costs, so you've got the opportunity to strike if there are some deals out there, whether it's in the stock market, in the real estate market. Some of my smartest investors sat out a lot of the hype leading up to the last real estate boom, and they came in at the bottom, but they came in at the bottom because they had cash, and they had really been smart with their money. They weren't blowing them on trips and a lot of the other dumb stuff that you've seen on my Instagram. They sat there and kind of just lived normal, average lives, and then turned around and bought everything bottom dollar and made a killing. And so, whether you're in a struggling mode right now or whether you're looking for opportunity, all of this stuff applies. So don't bury your head in the sand. Call each creditor. Reach out for help. The food banks are open. The city of Chicago, unfortunately, is closed in a lot of ways, so that there's emergency assistance that they normally have, rent assistance. I don't even know how to get a hold of those people right now because a lot of them are closed. So we're looking for some of our clients and friends into the Catholic charities, some other of the organizations out there, the Chicago Food Bank. So the people, if you are sitting there going, okay, I may have money for rent, but then I don't have money for food, this is a time to ask for help. Look for those resources. Get online. We've got some of them on Exit Strategy Moves You. We're going to have more on there as well. And bottom line is, don't give up your routine, or actually, this is a time to start a routine. The Miracle Morning has been a life changer for me. That's how I got through that last crisis with my flips, was that I had a primary business that I didn't want to go down. The flips were in question. And if I put my head in the sand or allowed myself to drink a ton and wallow in misery, there probably wouldn't have been a show, because that show only wanted people that were going to get out of there, hopefully rescue themselves and be rescued and learn a lesson. I had to get up every morning earlier than ever, stay more consistent than ever. Maybe we will burn the house down today. Good Lord. So it's getting hot in here. Well, at least I won't have to worry about the utility bill. See there, I'm saving money already. But seriously, guys, the Miracle Morning was so huge for me. And even now, I got up this morning, I took a shower, I dressed kind of nice. I don't know whether this matches or not, but I wanted to get out there within my house at least, and get communication going with people and get some stuff done. And if you're feeling low, I know the first urge is to put your head in the sand, but don't do that. So I'm just going to review real quick, and then we'll see if you guys have any questions. Cut your expenses, keep your credit flowing, raise your revenue or raise any revenue you can, and then don't bury your head in the sand. Use that morning routine, that Miracle Morning that I talked about. It's a great book. It's online, a lot of it. So let's see if you guys have any questions. Doesn't look like you guys have any questions. I just covered everything. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed this. We will be doing more. Here's what's next up. You guys asked yesterday what's next. So we are doing a entire piece tomorrow through Exit Corporate on what to do, specific action items. It's me and a bunch of other panelists. I can get you the link if you're interested. If you are LGBT focused, we have a webinar this afternoon that's really cool. That's about how to find some opportunity and get some of the LGBT owned and focused corporations out there that are a little smaller. There may be some opportunities to get in some investing with them while these stock prices are down. And then for those of you that are looking into more the real estate side, I'm going to have another webinar on Thursday specifically on how to talk to your database. So that will be posted on my social media. Really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys are scribing, taking notes, and expanding your minds too. This is a time to do it. Appreciate you being here. See you soon.